According to Show Business 411, Steven Spielberg has confirmed that Ready Player 2 is happening. He plans to produce but not direct this time, and with the success of 2018's Ready Player 1, a sequel seemed kind of inevitable. Ready Player 1 released 6 years ago as a film, and the worldwide box office total was $579,055,653. The US domestic total alone was $137 million. It pleased moviegoers and critics alike with its world building and pop culture references. The film was based on a novel by Ernest Cline. Both Cline's book and Spielberg's film are mostly set in the virtual world of the OASIS, but there are a couple major differences between the book and the movie. Cline's book spends its early chapters developing the state of the real world and how the main character, Wade, functions within it. And a lot of that takes place in and around Wade's school, which functions as a way to introduce how the virtual world works because every school is set in OASIS. It builds out both the real world and the virtual world simultaneously. Spielberg's film, however, ditched most of that exposition in favor of dropping his audience smack into the more fun side of the virtual OASIS, with Wade gearing up for a very important action-packed race. For fans of Cline's novel, the first challenge takes place on the planet Ludus, where all of the various in-OASIS schools are located, and requires players to journey to the middle of nowhere to play a version of the D&D Dungeons & Dragons module, Tomb of Horrors. Once that part of the challenge is beaten, the player then must defeat a D&D bad guy at the arcade game Joust. Wade is the first person to complete this challenge, swiftly followed by Artemis, first D with a 3, and then they rocket to the top of the scoreboard and become the most famous people in OASIS. This leads to Wade picking up a ton of corporate sponsorships, influencer style, which allow him to kit himself out with all the latest gear. And also putting a strain on his time and attention. In the film, Wade picks up a ton of credits each time he snags a key, enough to finance his entire quest. Oddly enough, maybe it's a good thing that the first movie deviated from the book so much now that we're headed into the sequel, because when Cline released his much-anticipated sequel to Ready Player 1 in 2020, Ready Player 2, the book, was met with overwhelmingly negative reviews, which kind of suggests that the movie might become a bigger deviation from the second book than even the first one was from the first book. What do you think? Did you read both books, see the first movie, excited for the sequel? Let us know your feelings about all of this, and hey, follow us. We talk about movies.